It is 4 a.m. in France, and an intense manhunt is underway at this hour for the terrorists who killed 12 people and injured 11 at the Paris headquarters of the French satire magazine Charlie Hebdo, or Charlie Weekly. The attackers headed east right after the attack, and this is the latest video from the scene of a police operation underway in the French city of Reims, east of Paris. Heavily armed police entered an apartment that French media reports belongs to one of the suspects. Just a short time ago, French police said the youngest suspect, 18-year-old Hamid Mourad, has turned himself in, and they are still searching for two brothers, said Saïd Kouachi and Sharif Kouachi, who are in their early 30s. The three attackers wore masks and carried assault rifles. The attack took less than 10 minutes. People climbed onto the roof of buildings to make sure they were getting away from the shooting down below.
Tu les vois encore?
Mais non, Edouard, debout.
Edouard.
Fais gaffe.
Witnesses say the attackers yelled Allah Akbar during the attack, which included shooting a police officer on the street when they were escaping. A witness caught that scene on video. That completely blurred figure you saw on the screen was the police officer being shot. The people who decide what you are allowed to see on American television have decided you should not be able to see that police officer clearly. I don't know how those decisions are made. A witness who encountered the escaping gunman says they yelled, "You can tell the media that it's Al-Qaeda in Yemen." Joining me now from Paris is NBC News foreign correspondent Bill Neely. Bill, what is the latest there?
Well, Lawrence, interesting you mentioned that policeman. The ironic thing is that the policeman who was shot at point-blank range was a French Muslim policeman. What is absolutely clear here tonight is that the French police know exactly who they're looking for. They have released in the last couple of hours photographs of those two brothers, the Kouachi brothers, and they have said that these men are armed and extremely dangerous, and they're asking the French public for their help. We know that one of the brothers was jailed for terrorist offences 10 years ago, jailed for 18 months. And we think the other brother was in Syria and returned in August of last year, having, well, done something in Syria. We don't know what, but from the look of those videos, these are two gunmen who are quite at ease with weapons, the way they hold the weapons. If you saw one of the stills, there were 15 gunshots in very, very close proximity to one another, as if the person doing the firing had been very steady. They do things very calmly, and this is what eyewitnesses report, that these were two calm, almost trained, professional, if you like, gunmen. But of course, to say professional of a horror like this is not quite right. And police have also issued now the names of all of the victims. And you know, the people who were in that editorial meeting were of a certain age. One of the cartoonists was 80 years old. He's called Walensky. I have one of his books on my bookshelves at home. He is a very, very well-known political cartoonist. Another was 78, and he was given France's highest award, highest civilian honor. So these were very well respected, very well known men and women who were killed in the most brutal fashion. But it does now seem that the French police know exactly who they're hunting, the manhunt very much on.
Bill, what do they know about how long the suspects have lived in France? Were they born in France?
It appears they were. They seem to be of French Algerian extraction, but they were born in Paris. At least that's what we hear from some anti-terrorism experts. So the French police have not given detailed biographies. And also remember reports that one of them had returned last year from Syria. French police estimate that around 300 French nationals are in either Syria or Iraq at the moment fighting for ISIS. So this is a big problem in France, in Germany. And of course, these suspects could be anywhere at the moment. They were heading north of here at speed along motorways. They could be in Belgium by now. It's not just a French issue. This is a Northern European manhunt.
Bill Neely, thank you for staying late and joining us on this incredible day. Thank you very much. Joining me now from Washington is NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. Pete, what are we learning in Washington from the FBI and from the defense and intelligence sources who'd be looking at this?
Well, a couple of things. Number one is, as soon as the French authorities got the names, the U.S. was going back and looking to see if there was any possible connection between this attack and people in the U.S., and they say tonight they haven't found any, that they've been looking at their databases and don't see, at this point, any contact between the suspects in France and people in the U.S. That's thing one. Thing two is, whenever you have an event like this, the intelligence community takes the amount of material that's been collected, they sort of hit the pause button and look back before the event to see if they can find things that in retrospect would indicate some kind of warning for this attack, and they say that they cannot. So it's an all-hands-on-deck affair to try to help the French and do what they can and make sure that there are no other attacks in the offing. A couple of other points here. There's been a decision not to raise the terror threat level in the U.S. And you know, Lawrence, over the years, that has sort of evolved. In the early days of the terror threat level, it was kind of raised based on sort of general jitters. Now the policy is that the threat level isn't raised unless there's some specific intelligence indicating there's an attack planned on the U.S., and because there isn't any, they're not going to change the terror threat level. A couple of other... Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to make a couple of other points here today that as is typical with something like this, when you have rapidly unfolding events, you get a lot of contradictory information. It's still not entirely clear what the French authorities believe these three people did. It seems pretty clear from the videos that the two older ones were involved in the shootings, but what's the role of the third suspect? That's never been very clear. And at one point today, just to indicate the confusion here, at one point, one French official had said there'd been an arrest, then that was retracted. Earlier tonight, two senior U.S. counterterrorism officials told NBC News that one of the suspects had been killed and that two were in custody, but now they say the information that was the basis of that account couldn't be confirmed, and from what we know now, that appears to have been wrong. So it's just been a day like that.
Pete Williams, thank you very much for staying late with us tonight on this. Thank you, Pete.
You bet.
Tonight, France raised its terror alert to the highest level. That is called attack alert, and bolstered security at media offices, places of worship, and public transportation hubs. Joining me now is Laith Alkhouri. He's a senior terrorism analyst at Flashpoint Global Partners, and MSNBC law enforcement analyst Jim Kavanaugh. Laith, what's your reading of the evidence so far?
Well, there has been a number of confusing details emerging, whether from French authorities, from American counterterrorism officials. You know, they indicated that at some point one of the attackers was killed, at another point that he was arrested, and a third point that he handed himself in. So there's a lot of speculation, but we know that based on all of the details that have come out, that the two individuals, the two brothers, remain at large, and that one of them might have traveled to Syria last year, and that he might have returned unnoticed.
What do you make of the one thing they said to bystanders? Tell the press that it's Al-Qaeda in Yemen.
Well, reportedly, right? Because we cannot completely ascertain that that's exactly what they said. But if it's based on that, let's retract back to March of 2013 when Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula released Inspire magazine number 10, in which it had a hit list. And one of the names on that hit list was Mr. Charb.
We have that hit. I think we have that hit list. We can put it. There it is. There's the wanted list that they put out there, and one of the names on there
is the editor of the newspaper. So again,
along with, by the way, Salman Rushdie and people they've been after for years.
And some of those individuals were featured in actually Inspire magazine's first issue that included the names of other cartoonists, Danish cartoonists, who also depicted Prophet Muhammad in their cartoons that is viewed offensive to many Muslims around the world.
Jim Kavanaugh, what do you make of what you've seen on video about the way they handled these weapons, the weapons they were using? How would you obtain weapons like that in Paris?
Right. I think it'd be a little bit difficult to get them just normally in Paris, looking at the Kalashnikovs and then the tactical vest, the desert tan ammo vest that one of the actors was wearing. I think the way they acted, Lawrence, looked to me like one or both had been in a conflict area. You know, they carry these rifles comfortably, not highly trained military like of a Western nation. They weren't that kind of people. They didn't move like that, but they moved as people that had been in conflict before. They weren't scared away by police officers who came on bicycles or in vehicles. They knew they were going to win that fight with their rifles. But they're bumbling as well. I mean, they went to the wrong door. The one guy lost his shoe. You know, highly trained military operatives would tie their shoes. They'd have the right door. You know, they forced their way in by home.
Jim, as you're saying that, we just showed the video of one of them having to stop and pick up that shoe as he was getting into the car. And we also have evidence, Jim, we also have a report tonight indicating that in that black car that we're seeing there in the video, one of them left an ID by mistake, and that's part of how they got tracked down.
Right, exactly. You know, shades of Faisal Shahzad, the Pakistani Taliban terrorist in Times Square, who bumbled the bomb. He made this contraption that wouldn't detonate and left his keys in the car. So this is where these guys sort of fit, it looks like, in the realm of, they're not one crazy lone wolf actor like Hassan in Fort Hood who acts alone, radicalized on the web. And they're not dispatched by core Al-Qaeda like 9/11. They're in the middle somewhere. Contacts maybe in Syria, North Africa. Maybe they've traveled there and been in the conflict area. And they're a little maybe self-radicalized or contact radicalized, a little wolf pack. But they're very, very deadly.
Laith, when I saw this manhunt developing today, one of the things I was saying here in the office is the French police are superb at this kind of work. It is very, very hard to escape their chase in France.
Well, yes, the French authorities actually are extremely capable, except that you can't really protect everybody. I mean, in any country, really, you cannot protect everybody. And in the case of the attack in France today, the target was pretty much a soft target. I mean, even if there was some security out there, you know, a couple of guards and a couple of policemen cannot prevent heavily armed gunmen with armed
policeman guarding them was the first person killed as they approached.
Exactly, and they had very high caliber rifles that could kill dozens of people in a couple of minutes. What does that tell us, though, about France's gun policy? I think that's another discussion for another time, but it's absolutely important to look at how did they obtain their weapons, who provided them, who helped them, you know, going back in their communication trail, how were they able, did they communicate with people, with individuals outside the country? Did they indeed travel? Did they communicate with commanders or fighters on the grounds somewhere in a jihadi spot?
Well, the fact that they got the location wrong indicates that someone else gave them the location information. It looks like maybe they'd never been there before.
I mean, that's a possibility, but also, you know,
you could just be working off the address.
Working off the address and not knowing exactly what
Jim Kavanaugh and Laith Alkhouri, thanks for helping analyze this for us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up.
Thanks, Lawrence.
President Obama's response to today's murders in Paris, and one of the brave editors who has decided to actually publish the cartoons that provoked those murders in Paris today.